Okay, I got the rollers all cleaned up now. So we're ready to go ahead and poke them up into the hole here. We already have some grease in here, not a lot. Probably should have more than we got in there. And we'll stick a little extra up in here. Should have pre-greased that race before I put the cover on there, but oh well. That's what they make small screwdrivers for. Pick it up in there. Okay, so I just start packing these in here. Wherever they go in easily, put them in. If they don't want to go in, go to a different part. Once you rotate the shaft, they'll go all the way around. See, I get tight right there. Just rotate a little bit. Shove them in. Tight again right there. Here we am. Rotate them around a little bit. They just slide right in there easier now. Hole right down there. Okay, I got 2 left. Make sure they're all pushed in all the way down. Spread them apart a little bit. Should have room for all of them now. There we go. Simple. Okay, this washer here goes on the outside edge. It's supposed to keep them in there. It's supposed to be tight too, which it isn't. So this goes up against it on the inside, and it's supposed to be relatively close so it doesn't, so the washer stays put, but the washer is supposed to be tight on there, which it is not. So the washer falls out. So that washer is worn quite a bit. So I'm going to try a new one and see if it goes in tighter. Let's see. Inner bearing. I'm going to do an inner bearing. Outer bearing. Main shaft bearing thick, that might be it. Got the same number. Yep, 110. 110 sounds like the right number too to me. Main shaft spacer, nope. 310, same number again. Left side spacer, nope. And this one's a low gear thrust washer, no. So these ones here I think are the same washer. 35, 110, yep. Okay, if this is made right, it should go in tight. Not really. Doesn't really stay in there tight like it's supposed to either. So, let's measure these to see what they are. 181, 180, 186, 186. This is definitely bigger. It's still not quite big enough. So what we need to do, we need to peen it a little bit on the outside edges to make it thicker. So we can beat it in, it'll stay put. You don't want those rollers going out, you want them to stay put when they're in there. At least that's how I want it to be anyway. Okay, so we're going to have to give this a little bit of a peen job. Not sure how we're going to do that. I got this fancy automatic punch here. I don't really like it too much, but I don't think I can do that on this one. Yeah, I got no control with this thing. At least not without having it on the vise. So we can go over here and get a vise. Might be one over here. Probably a vise over there somewhere. If I can walk in here would be nice too. Yeah, there we go. Drill press table. One vise. Let's see if we can make this thing peen. Stay put. Oh, maybe. Not really. Got no control. That's what I hate about spring things, they don't work with a squat. The other thing is the tip, if it's gone already. Now, is the washer doing that, or is it something I used before did it? These are supposed to be extremely hard and don't ever have a problem. Oh, we had a problem already. Nice. Very hard to spin it with this stupid thing going around in a circle, but we now have a point on it again. Now if it dulls again, we know this is a piece of crap. I hate this tool. You got no control of what the hell you're doing. Just about zero. You have no control where it's at. It just bounces all over the place. You're putting so much force trying to keep from this. You can't, when you let go of it, you move. You can't hold it where you need it. It's just stupid design. It looked good at the show, but it ain't worth a squat for using. You have no control over what you're doing. And this washer is not that hard, and that tool is not doing nothing to this washer. It puts like a little scrape mark in it. That's just me moving back and forth probably. So I'm going to try something better. Which I don't have, but we'll try it anyway. This is supposed to be a high quality, sharp ass punch. It never fails. We'll see how long that holds up. It's already dull a little bit. Should be perfect. I'll put it right in the middle where I can hold it right where I want it to be. And then I tap it. Oh, and just as I hit it, it moves. As I get ready to hit it, I should say it moves. And it doesn't want to stay put like everything else. That's the best way to do it. Use the vise to hold it centered and lock it. Yes, washer's killing the punch. Oh yeah. These washers aren't supposed to be fully hard. Harder than the punches are. Oh yeah, they're just killing it. So all it's doing is putting a big flat spot on the punch here. Yeah. It's made in England. No, that ain't England. That's a name. Yeah, whatever it is. It ain't worth the crap. It hardly does anything for this thing. I wonder if it got any better. I have my doubts. Look at it down there, Scooby. You looking for a rat? Is there a rat back in there, a hole somewhere? Scooby's always looking for rats. Even if you can't find it, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's get that thing to stay put. Okay, let's see if this thing will actually do what it's supposed to do now. That's a start. Yeah. Doesn't exactly do what I want it to do. Rollers are right there. Seems like a socket to go in there and beat it in square. Let's see. That ain't big enough. Nope. That's what you do with your custom sockets. You use them for beating tools. Okay, that one's too big. Try a different one. Alright, I'll try that one. Just nope, no different than the other one. There you go. I'm sure the rollers are right underneath it, popping it up. Yeah, there, that one actually stayed in that time. Yeah, maybe it is working. Yeah, there we go. It actually was tight. Alright. Problem is now it's probably all the way against the rollers. It's not good. That one did not work. So, come over here and get a couple whacks there. I'll make sure the rollers actually do roll. Alright, that should be alright. Okay, so now the washer is pressed in there a little bit. Grease all over my fingers. So we got this washer here is now pressed in slightly below the surface, flush is where it should have been. But we have in-play over here. You know, everything spins freely like it's supposed to. So it's not too tight. So it'd be best if it wasn't in quite that deep. But it works. Okay, now I'm going to worry about getting the shift forks and stuff up in there. That's the next problem. Continue on. I can't put the sprocket on here until I do get everything else to work. See, I probably should check the kicker and make sure it works first. Which is right here. Rotates around. Releases. Spring works. Okay. Kicker appears to work, so we can continue. Still got in play there. Still got in play there. And still got in play in there. So we still got all our in plays in there, so we're good on that. So at least all that worked. Oh, I didn't finish tightening those other two screws here. Probably should do that before I forget. Double check these other ones, make sure they're still full tight. Appear to be. They're not moving anymore. Alright. Yeah, I almost forgot two of them there. That'd be a bad thing to forget. Okay, so now we got to go ahead and work on this part over here. So we got to tighten this up and get that to work. My problem is I don't have any real good way of tightening these. Let's see, I have to use the vise in back, I guess. We don't have a vise in front to use right now. Okay, it's going back. Continue. Keep continuing. Eventually we're going to get done. It's not even tomorrow yet. That's even better. Alright. Okay, there's the vise. Smooth jaws. Filthy ass area. Not a good thing to do. Make sure they're clean. Tight. Okay, that's good and tight. A little bit more. There we go. Get the lock tab to come up where I need it. Okay, that's locked. So then that's fully tight. I got the lock tab there, and I've rolled over a little bit on the top one too. Okay, let me go ahead and do the other one. Let's see how loose that was. Okay. Where's the lock tab at? Okay. The lock tab here on the bottom. And we got a little bit of one over go. Alright, so now that's on there tight. So that's why I check both, because I want them tight. If you don't tighten them all the way up, they come loose. They come loose, you have shifting problems. You get to pull the transmission back apart, which is a lot of work. Race bike. Camera's turning on me. Oh, I hear Scooby following me. Here comes Scooby. There's Scooby way back there, chasing me. What you doing, Scooby? What you doing down there, huh? That's it, hit the camera. Nailed the camera. Okay, I'm back on the tranny. Okay, now you put both of these in where they belong. Forget which one's which. Again. I think this one's over here. I don't remember. Pretty sure that's how it was though. I'm guessing no, because it won't go in. This one goes over there. There you go. Yeah, if it doesn't fit in the case, it probably doesn't go where it belongs, in the other spot. That's a good sign you're doing it wrong. Okay, put a little lube on there. Technically, you don't have to do all this, but it doesn't hurt to have some lube on there. Okay, it's on there correctly. Keep that up, we can kind of see what I'm going to do here. Okay, I gotta get the shaft in here. Here's our shaft. This shaft has no seals on it at all. It just shoves in and it's free to leak. Nice design, huh? Actually, I'm going to put no oil on that side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little sealer over here. So I use my 3-bond 1184 gray. Everybody wants to know what I use, so I have to keep telling everybody what I use. To watch more than one video, they'll see what I use, but oh well. Okay, so now we go ahead and put a little bit of this goop on here, all the way around. Not supposed to have any sealer on it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Punch here. Okay, that just taps in. Where's my punch at? One punch. Heat on the end of it until it goes all the way in. See the difference? That's all the way. Hear it? That's how you know you're all the way in. So it pushes all the way in right over here. So get the camera, you can see it up in there. Okay, make sure everything slides nice and freely. Okay, everything appears to be good. And we got the sealer in there, so hopefully that'll keep it leak free. At least on that part. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put the shifter up on there. Actually, we could put the sprocket on right now because we don't have the shifters in there now. So now's a good time to do the sprocket. Okay. So we got our nut. And it appears we have no lock tab anywhere. Wonderful. We'll find me some lock tabs. Alright, I'll go hunt through my NOS stuff and get me some lock tabs. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Got a lock tab. It's the repop one. The repop ones are not bare metal. They got a little coating on them. The original ones are not uncoated, except for cosmoline. So I found those, so we'll use that. Okay, this takes 2 keys, preferably 2 good keys. Ooh. So all set. So that's good. I think that was the one I dropped. Nothing falls out of your tranny. It's a good sign. Okay, so now I go ahead and put the key in here. Put them on both sides. Go in there like the keys on these are they go in straight, so they're not at an angle. They're supposed to be sitting flat, straight. This one here is a little bit further out than it should be. So I'm just gonna tap it a little bit like that. Yeah, a little bit too far. It's hard to do it by one hand. So we have to just use a punch, which keeps disappearing around here. Knock them in straight. We got our brand new Harley sprocket here, NOS. It's got the old original style seal in it. Put a little bit of lubricant on that. Grease. Should be good. Okay, now you push it on and make sure the keys go up inside of the keyways like you're supposed to. So it helps to get it up where you can see in there and make sure they all line up correctly. Things should go on there relatively easily. Okay, so now the key is in there like it's supposed to be. So you can see how you see the key sitting straight in the whole groove, flat. Now if the key rolled up on you and you're beating on it, it would roll on you and this would bend in like this. You'd have a big ass groove put in there and you beat it on. But you would be looking at the side of it like this, not the end of it like this. It was in there wrong. So when you see it in there straight like that, you know it's in there correctly. And now you just go ahead and put the nut on there. The lock tab obviously sits right in there like that. And we just put the nut on it. Now what I do is I put it in 2 gears at once. So gravity helps us on this part a little bit. There you go. So the fork dropped in. Now we're in 2 gears at once. The transmission's locked up. So now you can go ahead and tighten this down. And it won't rotate. That's why I'm doing it right now instead of later. I am going to put a little bit of red Loctite on there also, just to make sure that there's no chance of that coming off, because locks don't always keep the stuff on the bike. They definitely don't keep it tight. They just keep it from falling off is all it's supposed to do. People think that's supposed to keep them tight. It does not. Okay, a little Loctite on there. Okay. That's the better of the 2 nuts. I use high torque, and you feather the trigger. That's tight. If you know your tools, you know how much torque you're putting on stuff. If you don't know your tools, you might have to check that, but I know what it is. Okay, it still rotates around, which is nice. So you want to go around so we get the chisel under here to get the lock tab over. Stick it up behind it there. Down, you take the flat one, just knock it flat. There you go. So now now it's all locked on there, tabs down, it's tight, but it rotates. We're in second gear right now, the fork just slid over. We're only in one gear, so it rotates. Yeah. Now it looks like you could put the sprocket on beforehand because see the shift shaft is out of what the sprocket would be getting. See on big twins most of the time you can't do it, but it looks like in a 45 you could have put the sprocket on earlier, so now you know. Okay. Find the spot it wants to lay. Okay, now we're going to put the shifter drum in, excuse me. That'd be this piece. I'm going to go ahead and keep this old sealer. I'm going to put the 3-bond sealer on here and just shove it in. There's a set screw that goes in and holds it in. The set screw goes into here in the hole. When you put the shaft in here, it lines up with the groove right here, and the set screw goes in there and holds it. Oh, get up where you can see it. So that's your hole there. That's what holds it. This is top cover screw. It's different. Now I'm going to have to compress the ball right here to get to go in. And remember, we're going to be between second and third gears where it drops down. Low gears in neutral. So basically, we're in a neutral position, but not neutral in the cam. We're not in the official neutral. We're in the in-between gear neutral. Okay, and then I have to line up the marks. I marked the red one right here. In the other gear I got 2 red marks on it. I'll have to rotate this around here, get where it needs to go. And it probably will not be in the right spot when it goes in, because the mark is straight up and down right here, when this is straight up. So that's not going to line up over there, because that tooth will be over there too. So you have to kind of guess where it goes in. Okay, now I like to have a little bit of lubricant on these shifter rollers here. Makes it shift a lot easier. Just a little bit on there. Okay, so we're in between gears. Okay, this should go straight up. It should just drop right down. Goes. Yeah, it just drops like it's supposed to. I can go over here and guess where the engagement's going to be for here. So you have to kind of count the teeth here on how far you're off. So right now I want to be right here. That one's going to go there. And I think we're in the right spot. No, we're one tooth off. It's actually engaged right now. Yeah, we're going to be in the wrong spot. Move it 1 notch. Okay, so we are at... That one goes there, this one goes next to it, that should drop. So we should be in the right spot. You just have to kind of count the teeth and hope you got it right. If not, you get to redo it. We'll check it once we get the shaft in there. Okay, now I got to compress this with my hand over here on the spring and get the shaft to line up. Now if you put a Phillips screw in there, it helps align it. Okay, so now you know you're kind of in the ballpark where it belongs. shaft go? Of course, it's not perfect. There it is right there. There it goes. Okay, before I go all the way in, I'm going to come over and check the tooth contact to make sure it looks like it's going to go in the right spot. It looks like it is in the right spot. So if you see the red mark right there, this tooth right here is going to drop into right there. Next one's a double red. The next tooth up is red, so that means that will roll into there when you get to that point. So we're engaged correctly right now. So I have to get the shaft to go through the hole over here and engage into this. But first I got to get some sealer on here because I can't put sealer on the back side of here because the side cover is in the way down here. So I have to do that right now. I have to push it back out about a 1/2 inch, lube it, and then push it in. And I got to push it in far enough I can put the set screw in there, which is laying around here somewhere. Got to find it too. Alright, so pull this back out. Right about there is fine. And the reason I'm not putting a new one on there because it usually just shears the rubber off anyway, which makes it even worse than what it is right now. So it's easy better just to do it this way. It's a lot easier to install and usually it doesn't leak. So wiggle it until it goes in there where it belongs. It doesn't want to go in. Maybe it's already in there. Just doesn't feel like it. If it taps in and moves, we're in the right spot. It's going in, so we're in the right spot. Okay. So now we take our punch and beat on it with a punch. That way you don't have risk of hitting the stud or damaging the cover. Should be getting close. So at this point you come over and look at the screw hole. So if you look down here in the screw hole, see we're only partially getting into the groove, and you can see how much we got. So when this is flush, we should be about perfect in here. And the set screw for that is floating around over here someplace. There was one in a little baggie I saw earlier. It's right here. Got a little tit on the end of it. So that's the one we're going to use. The big twin one has a big long, about a 3/8 inch long tit sticking out. The 45 is a little small dimple tit. So you get two different variations of them. They don't mix very well. Okay, that should be close. Ooh, it's bright. A little bit more. One more. There we go. Oh, that was too much. The second hit was too much. So, doubt if it's going to come out very easily. Yep, a little bit out. Perfect, right on center. Take our screw here. So there's our screw, little dimple, little titty sticking up. That's what goes in there. And you can see the the hole right there. See how the groove is right dead center right now? So that means you're in the right spot. So what's that small screwdriver head? Now this screwdriver is a little bit too small to torque with it. At least put it in here with this one. Break the tip off with this little dinky screwdriver. So you get a little better one than this. Get a little bit bigger one. Tighten it up. It's in there. Okay, so now the shifter's all in there. That's all in there. So it should shift. Okay, right now we are in second gear. Let's look at our shift pattern. And right there is going to engage into the red, just like we want it to be. And we are in neutral. So we're in the factory neutral position where those marks line up. Okay. Okay, now we go into our low gear. Okay. Make sure it rotates. If it binds up, it won't work in gear. So it appears to be working all right. Got more leverage on this side. Okay, now you rotate it out of that gear. There's your neutral. Okay, neutral. Go into second. You got a lot more leverage rotating the cam to pull on that lever. Okay, then it goes in. Once it lines up with the dog, it goes in. There's second gear. A little bit easier to turn. Then go into third gear. Third gear. That's your easiest one to turn. You can see how slow it's turning over here now. So that's how you do that. So a little better shot up here, what you're looking at. So you want to make sure all this stuff is working correctly. Get the damn tripod where I can hold it. Okay, see where we're in. It's all the way over here, so we're in third. So I'm going to rotate this back a little bit. You can see how that dog moves over, and this one here is not moving. You have to rotate until it's in the actual hole. So I can't put pressure on it to. There it is. So now you're in second gear. One more. There's neutral. One more. Back into low. A little lined up. Look at that. Now we're in low. A little bit harder to turn again. Alright, so there's how it all works. Looks pretty good. There we go. And one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to put Loctite on top of the screws down in there. I was going to do that. I forgot to. Oh well. They went in there pretty tight. Loctite from the outside. Okay, so now we get this thing out of this way. There we go. We're in the neutral now. It's always a good spot to put things. Okay, now we need to go ahead and put our top cover up on here. And our gasket is probably well shrunk back by now. It appears to be a little bit stiff again. Let's see how it lines up. So it's a little on the short side. What a shocker. Okay, so we're about half a hole off over here. So I'm going to go ahead and rehydrate it, throw it in the sink, and I'll be back.